Okay, now we need to continue with the comparison operators. Karşılaştırıcı operatörlerle alakalı. Türkçe soru sormak istiyorsanız Türkçe soru sorabilirsiniz arkadaşlar. Bilginiz olsun. Okay. Comparison operators are used to compare two values or expression, not address one. Okay. For the address, we need to use the is. Okay. The results are Boolean values, true or false. Okay. In C++, we don't have the true false. It's just a mask for the C++, but in here we have the specific class for this type. Okay. But these operators support comparison. On numbers, strings, even sequence. What's the meaning of the sequence? We will talk about it. Okay. So, in order to understand these terms, we need to build the R examples. What's the result of the 2, 3 bigger than 2? It's simple. It's true, right? Or this one, 1 and 2. Or this one, 3 equals 3. Okay? This is false and the other one is true. But what if we choose this one? Print 10 plus 2 bigger than 3 plus 8. What's the result of these terms? What's the priority level between the arithmetic and the comparison operators in here? Just write. Firstly, we need to operate the plus in here, and secondly, this one. And after that, the result must be coming from the what with the true. Okay? In the usage of the arithmetic and the comparison operators, and so first the arithmetic operator is utilized. After that, the comparison proceeds. Okay. For example, a is equals to 10, and so the print 5 greater a, smaller a, and 20. Okay. What's the result of this print? This is the priority level. What if we use two comparison operators? Firstly, the left hand side is operate 5a, and second we have the 5 smaller than a and smaller than 20. Okay, and so the result is true. Okay, this is our rule. And so what if 10 equals a bigger than 5? What is the results in here? So, anyone? Just see that. Just look at these terms. Firstly, 10 equal a, secondly a bigger 5, and result is true. Okay, see, second and true. What if we use 3 bigger than a, smaller than a, and 20 and 10? What is the results in here? Just look at the second examples. Firstly, we should analyze the 3 smaller than a, and secondly a 20, and thirdly 20 bigger than a, and outcome is true. Okay. See, these are the rules for the what? For the comparison operators in Python programming language. These are the key examples to understand how it behaves on the operation. Okay. And after that, we need to continue with the logical operators. Logical. So, in Python, there are 3 operators related to the logical one: and, or not. Okay? And so, there are 2 responses or the outcomes for this operator: true and false, nothing more. Okay. So in order to understand these terms, just now we will create the examples in here. New line, and print false and true. What is the outcome of this code right now? Yes, this is false, right? Because the false and true gives us this one. But what if true and true? This results the true, right? It's the basics. But what if the outcome of the 100 and minus 200? See, this is the minus 200 because I need to explain this phenomena in here. This is the minus 200, and I should give this one. In Python, any non-zero or non-empty value is considered true. Okay. And returns to the what? The last evaluated operand, not necessarily true or false. Okay, this is the number. And so if this is the case, and then I can write easily this one. What if I choose the 0 in here, if I and so see that this is the 0, but 0 is equals to the false, right? This is the non-zero, but this is the 0. Okay. And so what if I choose the what? 100 and 0 in here. If this is the case, in this case, first one is to what? False. Short circuit. But in this case, we have the 0 in here, the second operand is correct. And also, what if 120? What's the result of these terms? These terms 20, because both are returns true. And so if both returns to the true, and so the second element is given in here, but in this case we have the 0 and we have the 0, and so these are the false. And if this is the false and it returns to the 0, whatever the second or the first term is non-numerical number or the numerical number, but in the 100 true and 20 true, and then gives us to what? To 20, right hand side. Okay. So what if if this is the case. Println print 100 and false. What's the outcome of this code right now? No, it returns to the what? To false. Okay, not true and false. See? Because it gives us the false value in here. And what if I use to what? To this one and 100? In that case, I choose the false, just like the 0. Okay? But if I choose the OR in here, what's the outcome right now? Yes, because the 100 is non-zero element, and so it is non-zero element. We have the OR value, and so it returns to the what? 100. But what if false or true in here? And so this returns to the true. In this case, we have just kind of this operation here for this case. Okay, this is not a 0, this is false, but we have the OR value. If we use the AND in here, and so this returns to the false, but if I choose to use the OR, and so it returns itself in here. Okay, this is how we can add this one in here. And so the print new line, and so the print not true. This is false. But what happens? 150 in here. What's the result of this code? This is what? No. See, minus 150 is not a 0. Okay, and so this interpreted by the Python as a true, and so not true is false. Okay, what if I choose the not 0? What's the result of these terms? See, this is true. Why? Because the 0. Okay, you know, to understand how Python behaves at this moment, and so we need to create just kind of examples in order to understand how evaluates it is. Okay, so let's continue with the priority level. Logical operator is lower than comparison one, which means that in order to prove this, the print new line print 3 bigger than 2 and 1 bigger than 4. What's the outcome of this code right now? It is false, because the priority level gives us the logical operator is lower than comparison one. And so firstly, this returns to the or operated with the what? With this big and lower one. Okay, comparison operator is first executed in here, and after that gives us results. And so what if I choose the 3, 2 and 5, 4? If this is the case, and so this returns to true. Okay. So what if this is the case? The print not 10 times 3. What's the outcome of this code? False. But why? Because this is the not 0, right? It's a number, non-zero element, and so non-zero element gives us the true, and so it returns to the what? To the false. Okay, and so what if not 10 times 0? What's the outcome of this code? 10 multiplication with 0. Multiplication is higher level for given the logical operators, and so it gives us the true, right? This is the basic rule. But what if not 10 times 3? What's the outcome of this code right now? 0, because not 10. 10 is non-zero, and it returns to what? True. And true not is equals to what? False. False converted into the 0, and it gives us the 0, right? See? That's it. That's the whole operation that can be used in your Python program. You need to understand how syntaxically behaves the Pythons. Okay? Otherwise, you cannot write this code. Okay? Any question? If there is no question, we need to continue with the assignment operators, guys. Okay? What's the meaning of the assignment? Firstly, we need to say that in priority level, this is our rule. Assignment operator is right to left prior. Okay? Which means that in order to understand these terms in here, just like this one, the print new line, and a equal b equal 100. Okay, and so what's the values of the print a and print b in here? Right to left prior, and so if this is the case, 100 and 100. But what about this? 100 is assigned to the right hand side, but which is equalized with the b. What's the result of the second terms in here? See, this is the syntax error, because cannot assign to the literal, which means that the b cannot assign as in the what? In the 100, because the 100 is a literal. This is syntax error. Okay, the expression is invalid because assignment target left hand side must be a variable, not a literal one. Just remember the previous week. Okay, and so we cannot assign the value to a constant 100. Okay, this is a syntax error. Syntax error. So what if a1 and a equal 1 and print a? What's the results right now? Two. Okay, and so what's the result of this term? And also this one. This is 2, and this results for what? 4 over 2 gives us 2 what? 2 4 60. Okay, this is the compound assignment. It's called compound assignment, which means that we have the plus and equal operator at this time. Okay, this is the easy one. But what if this one, a is equals 3 a 2 plus 3. And what is the values of the a right now? See, we have the 15 values in here. But why? In that case, the operator arithmetic or plus has higher priority than assignment, guys, which means that this is the 15, but this is the 3. 2 plus 3 is first. No, Mustafa, just see that this returns to the what? A is a times 2 plus 3. The Python sees that code just like this one. Okay, no, it's 15. It's just like this one. The Python sees that code in that form. A is equals to the a times 2 plus 3. Okay. Yani arkadaşlar aritmetik operatörler assignment'tan daha yüksek, yani atamadan daha yüksek. O yüzden 2 artı 3'ü topluyor. Topladıktan sonra şu ifadeyi yapıyor. Aslında bu şekilde oluyor. Any question? If you don't have any question, we will continue with the print function. We see this print function in the previous week, but we need to talk about it. Okay, print function. So in the basics, the print is built-in function. It's used to I and O function, input output function, for text output. Okay, and in the basic meaning, the print has these arguments, star objects, we will talk about it, or default arguments, just like this one, or endpoint can be defined in here. With the default, we have the new line in here, and also we need to give the file sys std standard out, and flush is set with the false. What's the meaning of this? This is the default arguments, and so we can give them more than one parameters in here. We don't need to use or specific the keywords in here. For example, we can give the 3 parameters or 5 parameters for the print. It doesn't matter. Okay, and so it's the separation point is an empty space, and is the default argument in here also. But this is important part. The file sys std out. This is the standard input output import a library utilization. To what? If I'm using the print in here, and so this print goes, or the data can be transferred into what? Into my screen. Okay, or my computer. But if you are using in the what? In microcontroller, STM32 or something like that, and so this print transfers the data through the what? The UART communication protocol to another place. Okay, and this is important. But how can we understand this code utilization? First of all, we need to give new line. Okay, and after that, A10, B30, and C30, but B20. Okay, I'm sorry. And so, what is the result of this code? ABC in here. What's the outcome? If I run this code and then 10 empty space, 20 empty space, and 30, and after that we have a new line because the next line is this. Okay, so the print A times 2, B times 3, and C times 4. Okay, what's the outcome of this code? Firstly, the arithmetic operator is applied on this one, and after that this returns to the what the 20, 60, and 120. Okay, so what about this one? A equals NA. What's the outcome of the last code? Yes, this is what A equals 10. But see that we have the one empty space in here. What is it? What's it? See, if you choose to give the empty space or not, print defaultly add this 10 empty space in here. Okay, but what about this one? The print A, B, C, and separation point is the what? Is the comma. What's the result of this code right now? Yes, 10, 20, 30. Okay, and so what's the result of this code? A, B, C, and separation XXX. Yes, Eren. 10 XXX, 20 XXX, 30. Okay, what if I choose to print the what, the A, B, C with separation none? This is not an empty space, this is a null character. What's the out of this code? This is no separator point in here. Yes, Mustafa. 10, 20, 30, but without an empty space. So what is this? A, B, C, and sep non-character, and is equals to dot. What's the output of this code right now? Yes, see, 10, 20, 30. And so now what's the out of last code? Just write it. Yes. See? A, B, C, and this one. But what's it look like? See, in the end we have the dot, but the next line is empty, and so this code is added to the right hand side of the previous one. But why? Neden arkadaşlar bu 10, 20, 30 nokta sonra sağına niye devam etmiş yine? Mesela ben bunu merak ediyorum şu an. Neden öyle oldu? Why? Yes. We broke the default new line character in here. We add this one. Okay? So this is. So we need to give this one in here. And so what about this? We should give the new line in here, just like this one. And so the print 1, print 2, and print 3. What's the outcome of this code? If I choose to run, and so we have one more new line in here, 1, new line, 2, new line, 3, new line. Okay? But what about this? If in that case the empty space in here, And so if I choose to add this code in here, just like this one, what happens? What's the outcome of this code right now? Yes. 1, 2, 3, because the and does not contain the new line character, but the empty space one right now. Okay? This is how we can analyze the built-in function or any other function given in the Python, guys. Okay? We have the default arguments, we have the many parameters linked with the what, with the many variables, but if we choose to design or change the default code, we can use these settings. Okay? So next we need to give the type function in here and type. Okay, we have also a special function with the name of the type. The whole types are actually in Python a class which contains many functions and attributes. Okay, integer, float, str, and bool. Have you heard anything about the constructor, guys? Constructor diye bir şey duydunuz mu arkadaşlar hiç daha önce? The constructor is a construct object for a given class. If you want to create any object or the variable related to any class, and so the constructor is always called in C++ or in Python. Okay, so what about this one? How we can utilize a type in here? And so we should give the new line in here. Okay, so the type function returns to the what? Returns to the specific type. What is the output of this code right now? One, because it is converted into the integer. Convert into integer values, or we create a new variable in here. And so what is the output of the second code in here? This is the 1, because the true is interpreted in the integer type as a 1. Okay, and so what if the output of this column, this is string object 1 2 3 integer, what's the values of this one? No, this is directly returns to the what? 1 2 3. The string numeric object can be converted into the integer one, but what if I use the integer Ali? What's the outcome of this code? This is the syntax error, because Ali cannot be returned into the what? Into the numeric one. Okay, this is the value error. Okay, and so what if I choose to write this one, integer empty space, this one, what's the output of this code right now? If I'm running this code, we have the 1 2 3, because in the Python leading trailing space should be ignored in order to what? In order to convert the string into the integer one. Okay, and so we continue with the what? With the float values, minus 1 2 3. What's the outcome of this code? What's the outcome? And so 1, 2, 3, but dot 0 is added in here. What if I choose the 35? And so what's the output of this code? This code is returns to the what? To this one. Okay. And so what if the float true? What's the output of this code? Yeah, not 1, 1.0, right? So what if the str123, what's the output of this code? Yes, but 123 does not seen on this page, but we convert the number to string, guys. Okay, so what if I choose the str1235 in here? See, if I choose this one, 12.35, but this is the string, not the number, guys. Okay, so what if str true right now? What's the last code? See, this is true, but string true. Okay, and so what if I choose the boolean type with the what? 55 1. What's the output of this code? True. But why? Because it's non-zero, right? What's the output of this code? 10. It returns to the true, non-zero. What if I choose to use the 0? This is returns to the what? False, because it's a 0, right? And so what about this? If I choose giving the empty space in here, what's the result of the last code? False. Why? Because empty string is falsified, non-empty true, right? So this is the false. Okay, so let's continue with the input function. In the previous week we talked about it, but in this week we should also analyze based on what we have learned up to now for today. Okay, so just remember the last week. It's just like the scanf in C++ or C, guys. Okay, so just remember the previous week, the input can be used to what? Give a name, and we can print the S. If I run this code, the program waits to what? To give a name, Mehmet, and after that it gives the Mehmet, right? This is the first example. In the second example, if we have this one, and so if we give or take the number, and so this input returns to the what? String. But if we want to analyze this string in terms of the integer, and so we should convert it to integer just like this one. Okay, and s time s can be given in here, for example 5, and so it gives us the 25. But what if I choose the write the Ali in here? Ali, see, this is the inbuilt literal for integer with the base of the 10. Okay, this is important, guys. Any question? Okay, this is the first session of the R cases. So now we can continue with this inline in here. Just now we need to introduce the data types in Python, guys. Okay, we'll continue with the data types, basic data types in Python. Okay, firstly we need to talk about the data structure, guys. What's the meaning of the data structure? Which one? This one? Eren? This one? In this case, the input returns to the string values, and so if this is a number, we need to convert it to integer one. Okay, and so if this is the integer one, and then we can multiply these values. For example, I can give the 5, and so this string returns to the, or converts into what? Integer. But if I give this input Ali cannot be converted into numerical values, and so this gives us the error. Okay, okay, and so data structure. What's the meaning of the data structure? Data structure means that the objects that collaborate some relations to each other, guys. Okay, just like the hash table, linked list, and something like that. Okay, so in Python we have some data structures built in. Okay, which means that we have the list, dictionary, tuples, and sets. These are the standard libraries. Okay, and so we have the important feature about these data structures, which means that the iterable object concept. Okay, an object that is responsible for keeping another object, just like in C or C++. In C++, we call it the container or collection. So, which means that we can iterate any data with the what? Any data kept in this object without ignoring its type. Okay, and so we can use the memory efficiently based on these types. Okay, in this case the dictionary is a hash map set is identical with the unique or unordered collection. Okay, and so as a result the iteration or iterable means an object implementation with the what? With the yielding elements 1 to 1 or 1 by 1 in for loops, guys. Okay, and so these are the important point. Containers store to the what? The references to objects or addresses, not copies of the object themselves, which means that we only store the addresses, not the value one. But so this is the basic data types definition in Python programming language. And so in order to analyze these terms, or in order to learn about this one, we need to talk about the lists, which is the basic types of the what? The Python, but in the next session. Okay.